Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in again today. Today we're going to be looking at a word that we don't use very often on a daily basis, but it appears loads in the Bible. And that word is mercy. Have you heard it before? Do you know what it means? Well, in its simplest explanation, mercy is when somebody treats us well even though we've done something badly. I wonder if that's ever happened to you. I wonder if you've ever disobeyed your parents and found that they responded with kindness and love when you weren't expecting it. Or maybe you have seen somebody else get treated mercifully and felt like it was a little bit unfair, like they deserved to be punished, and being treated mercifully seemed unfair to you. Well, if you've ever felt like that, you're not alone, because the character in today's Bible story felt exactly like this. It's almost like he didn't want God to show mercy to people, but by the end of the story he realised that actually he needed God to show mercy towards him as much as anyone. So stay tuned in and I'll speak to you later. Bye for now.
Hello ELC kids, Dawn here, hi. You're probably not going to see my face because we're doing some experiments today, and I just want you to see the experiments if that's okay. So the first experiment is going to be using some milk. So I'm going to put some milk in this bowl, and you can all see the milk, and then I'm going to put some colour in this side, and then a little bit this side, and then it's just going to do what it does, and then I'm going to put some oil in the middle. And look at the reaction. Look what happens with like the lavaness and the bubbles and everything else. It's really cool. Now the second experiment, are we ready for the second experiment? Is involving a teacup. So I've got a teacup here, and then I'm going to put some bicarb, just about a teaspoonful in the bottom of here. That's it. And then I'm going to get some oil. And I'm going to put a teacup full of vinegar. So this is vinegar. I'm just going to pop it in there and watch. Can we see? Fizzes up and over. That's what I was expecting to happen. And then the third experiment. Are we all ready? The third experiment is going to be with some Smarties. Who likes Smarties? So I'm going to get out a few colours here. Let's have, I'm trying to get that green one. The green one there and the blue one. Right. So we're just going to have some Smarties on our piece of paper. Spread out. And then what I'm going to do is get, here's a jug of water I've made earlier. Just sprinkle water on them, and hopefully can you see the reaction of the colours draining onto the paper? And that's our experiment for today. What, with each of these experiments, what do you think makes a good experiment? A good experiment, I think, is, just giving you a chance to answer, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, have you put it in the chat yet? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What I think makes a good experiment is the fact that the consequences are all the same. They are actions for the consequences of the experiments. So when you do the experiment and there are consequences. With the milk, it had colour in either side, put a bit of oil in the middle, and it bubbled and fuzzed like a lava and went all bubbly. I hope you could see that. And then with the second experiment, mixing bicarb and vinegar made an explosion in the egg cup. And the third one with the kitchen roll, which wasn't so clear, I'm really sorry about that, and the Smarties, but when you dropped water onto the dye started to come onto the kitchen roll. So with each one, there was a result, a consequence to what was happening. This is a bit like life, I think. With life, all the actions and the decisions that we make, there are consequences for our actions. So there's always a result or something like that. And it's really, really, really important that you take responsibility, take ownership for the consequences that come out of your actions. So we're going to look at more today about thinking about your actions and the right things to do through the story of Jonah. Hello ELC kids, who's ready for a game? Anybody ready for a game? Today's game involves a balloon. This is all you need. So, this game is a keep you pin. Have you like where you have to keep it off? Don't let it go on the ground. Yep, but with a twist. So, you have to think of a subject and a letter. So my subject is going to be animals beginning with D. And I'm not allowed to hit the balloon until I've thought of an animal beginning with D. So it makes the game a little bit harder. Are we ready? Ducks, dinosaurs, dolphin, deer. It reached the game because I hit it there once then without saying a name. So after dolphin I was out. So my record so far is 3. So let's try again. My next one is going to be girls' names beginning with C. Shall we try again? Cara, Claire, Clarence, Celia, Scylla, Cara. I ran out. My best is 5. Can you do any better at home? Let us know how many you can do with your theme and your subject. It's really, really hard. I might try it just once more. Are we ready? This is the final time. I am going to go for boys' names beginning with E. You ready? Ethan, Edward, Elliot, I could have used next. Sometimes your brain just freezes. That time I got 2 points. Let's see whether you can beat my record of 5. And if you feel like it, record it and send it in. Thanks.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you, I worship you. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. Oh, I worship you, Jesus, I worship you, turning lives around. You are here, oh,
In today's story, we're going to be looking at a man called Jonah. He's a man in the Bible that's a really good example of someone that made a decision that had really big consequences. In fact, the consequences, the results to his decision were that big, they were the size of a whale. So the thing is, God asked Jonah to do something for him, and Jonah thought about it and he thought, no, I'm not going to do that. So I want you to listen to the story today. The story is going to be sung, it's in a song version, but see if you can recognise what the consequences were to Jonah's actions and his decision. And did Jonah say sorry to God and ask for forgiveness, or did he sit and make excuses? So let's watch it together now.
Let's meet Jonah, who told the people what God wanted him to say. God told Jonah to go to Nineveh, but he went the other way. Jonah got on a boat and sailed into the sea. God sent a big storm while Jonah was sleeping. The sailors were scared and asked, why would this be? Then Jonah said, the storm is because of me. The sailors threw Jonah over the side of the boat. The storm stopped at once and the ship was kept afloat. Jonah was swallowed by a great big fish. He was in its belly going swish, swish, swish. The fish swam along for 3 days and nights. Jonah said he was sorry and that he would make it right. So God ordered the fish to spit Jonah out. And Jonah told the people what God was all about. When the people of Nineveh heard what he had to say, they stopped doing bad things and changed their wicked ways. God saved the people of Nineveh from a really bad fate. Jonah learned to obey God and what it was like to be fish bait.
So what was it in that story that God asked Jonah to do? He asked him to go to a place called Nineveh. He said, go to that place, Nineveh, and tell those people they need to change their ways. They're being really wicked and bad, and they need to say they're sorry and they need to follow me. But Jonah thought about it and he said, no, I'm not going to do that. And instead of going to Nineveh like God asked him to do, he went in a completely opposite direction to a place called Tarshish, and he went there on a boat. So what were the consequences? What were the results of Jonah's actions? Well, we heard in that story that when he got on that boat, that there was a massive storm. And I think that the sailors on the ship are used to storms, but this storm was huge. And God had sent that storm because he was not happy with Jonah. And then what happened after that? The sailors started throwing all the cargo overboard, didn't they? So they were throwing the barrels and the food and everything was going over. But then thirdly, they realised, because Jonah put his hand up and he said, this is my fault, it's because I've done something wrong and God's not happy with me. They threw Jonah overboard. But, you know, really, it sounds a terrible thing, but God was really good to Jonah, because he could have died there in the sea in that storm, but God sent that huge fish, that whale, to save him, and he swallowed Jonah up. And while Jonah was in that belly of the whale, he had loads of time to think, and he thought, you know what, I made a bad choice there. And he said to God that he was really, really sorry. And you know what? God forgave him. And he made the whale cough Jonah up onto the beach. And Jonah was able to have a second chance. And with that second chance, he made a really good decision and decided to go to Nineveh and tell the people about God. And you know what? It's a great ending to the story, because the people in Nineveh did change their wicked ways, and they did say they were sorry, and they did follow God. So we need to learn from this story that we've got to think hard when we have decisions and choices to make, because if we make a bad decision, there will always be consequences for that. But you know what's brilliant? That if we do make the wrong decision, that we have such a loving and kind God that will forgive us if we're really sorry, and he will give us a second chance.
Hello, welcome to Memory Verse Time. So today we are going to be looking at how merciful God is to us, how rich in mercy God is, even in all situations that we may face. So our memory verse is in Ephesians 2, verses 4 and 5. But God was merciful. We were dead because of our sins, but God loved us so much that he made us alive with Christ. And God's gift of undeserved grace saves you. Amazing, amazing. That grace is still available for us today. That grace is available for you and is available for me. So get learning. See you soon. Bye.
Hi everyone. So today, to help us remember the story of Jonah, we're going to make a little game. And what you're going to need is a plastic cup, some glue, some felts, a piece of white and a piece of blue paper, a balloon, it can be any colour you like, some scissors and a piece of string. Now to start off with, on your piece of white paper, you need to draw 2 eyes. Okay? And then you need to cut them out. Now if you want to, you can draw your whale's eyes rather than sticking them on, or if you've got some googly eyes, you can do that as well. So there's one eye and the other one. Two eyes for your whale. And then on one of your pieces of blue card, you're going to draw a whale's tail like that, and then we're going to cut it out. So I've got one here that I've already cut out. Now you need to put a little tab at the bottom so that you can stick it onto your cup. Now you're going to have to put a hole in the bottom of your cup, a little hole. So you're probably going to need an adult to help you do that. And then once you've got a little hole, you're going to thread your string through and pull it all the way through and put a knot in the end so it doesn't come out. Okay, so now we need to glue our eyes on. So you can put one this side and one the other side. There you go. There's your whale eyes. And then what you can do, if you want to, you can decorate your whale. You can draw some scales on him if you want to. You can put some fins on him. You could stick some paper on him if you wanted to. You can decorate him however you like. Doesn't really matter. However you want to decorate him, you decorate him. So then your whale tail, you need to put a little bit of glue on the tab and stick it onto the bottom of your cup. There you go, there's your whale. So put him over here a minute. Now your balloon, you're going to need to put a little bit of something in the balloon to weight it down. So you can use a little bit of salt, a little bit of flour, a little bit of rice, anything that you can put inside your balloon so that it's a little bit heavier than a normal balloon. You're probably going to need a little bit of help with that as well. So ask an adult to help you. And then you need to tie a knot in the top. Once you've done that, tie the other end of the string to the top of your balloon. And then you can draw a little man on your balloon so that it looks like Jonah. It's a bit tricky. There you go. There's Jonah. Drew him on my balloon. And then the idea of the game is that you need to get Jonah in the whale. Like that. Have another go, see if I can do it again. Oh, nearly. One more go. Yay! So there you go. There's Jonah in the whale. You can maybe challenge someone to see how many times they can get Jonah in the whale in 30 seconds or something like that. So I hope you enjoyed the craft this week. Have fun with it, and I hope I'll see you soon. Bye.
Right, but I make the wrong choice sometimes, and you forgive me. No one knows me, God, like you. You see who I am, not what I do, and you forgive me. You take all the pieces of my life, put them back together, make it all alright. Only you can heal my broken heart, make all things new with a brand new start. Oh, you forgive me. I try so hard to do things right, but I make the wrong choice sometimes, and you forgive me. No one knows me, God, like you. You see who I am, not what I do, and you forgive me. You take all the pieces of my life, put them back together, make it all
Hello again. At the start of today's session, we learnt a new word, didn't we? Can you remember what that word was? That's right, mercy. Remember, mercy is when someone treats you with love and kindness, even though you've done something wrong. Can you think of anyone in today's story that was treated mercifully? I can think of someone. The first person I can think of was Jonah. How was he treated mercifully? Well, he did exactly the opposite to what God wanted him to do. And although what happened to him might not seem very good, by the end of it, we realised that God was being kind to Jonah, and God was willing to forgive him and set him back on the right track. That's mercy. Can you think of anyone else in today's story that was treated with mercy? That's right, the people of Nineveh. They were leading very, very disobedient lives and didn't love God at all. But when they heard how much God loved them, God forgave them. God treated them mercifully, even though they deserved to be punished. And you know, that same God from the Bible is our God, and he treats us with kindness and with mercy too. So I suppose there are two kinds of people that I'm talking to today. Perhaps you are a little bit like Jonah, and you do love God, and you do try to do the right thing. But perhaps you know there are some areas of your life where you've disobeyed God, and that you need to come back to him and ask for his mercy. Or maybe like Jonah, sometimes you think it's a little bit unfair when God is kind to people because you think they don't deserve it. Well, this story teaches us that none of us deserve God's kindness, but he chooses to give it to us anyway. Maybe you're more like the people of Nineveh in this story, and maybe you've never ever said yes to Jesus. Maybe you didn't even know until today that God loved you and that God cared for you and that there's a good way to live your life. Well, the good news is you can accept Jesus into your heart and into your life today, and God will be merciful to you. So I'm going to say two prayers today. The first one is for people that love God but need his mercy today. And the second one is for people that have never said yes to God before but would really like God to show his mercy in their lives. Dear God, I pray for all those people out there who know and love you, but perhaps have lost their way a little bit and have done things that they know are not pleasing to you. I pray that you will show them your mercy and help them to get back on the right track, just like you did with Jonah. And Lord, I pray for those people that want to say yes to you for the very first time. Those that want to say, Jesus, come into my heart and life and show me the mercy of God. I pray that you really make yourself known to them. In the name of Jesus. Amen. If you prayed that prayer today and you meant it in your heart, please tell someone, because I'm sure there's someone in your home or someone at church that would love to help you and talk to you more about what it is to receive God's mercy. Thanks for listening and have a great week. Bye.
you.